All right, I'm gonna do a tour of my 6S Matco toolbox. This is just my home box, so it's what I need for at home, and my hobby is mainly doing body work and working on old muscle cars, stuff like that. So here's my top drawer. I've got pry bars. They're just cheap Amazon ion tool pry bars. They're nice. They have a striking cap. They work pretty well. I mean, I've had no problems. I've had them for a little over a year now. I replaced my even cheaper Harbor Freight set with them. They work well, no complaints. I picked this up on promo. It didn't come with this black ratchet. It came with this ratchet over here. But anyway, it was 2 ratchets and a set of metric sockets, and it was a pretty good deal, so I bought it. I like the foam tray. I really like these Matco sockets. I would switch everything over to them, but they're so expensive I can't justify it for using them for my hobby, you know what I mean? So anyway, these are really nice ratchets. I like them a lot. They're my favorite of everything I've tried. Snap-on, Cornwell, Matco has my favorite ratchets. Now this one I don't really use all that often because this one over here, my flex head, my locking flex head, this thing is badass. I use this 95% of the time. The only time I don't use it is when I absolutely need something with more leverage or cannot fit this somewhere. So that's my go-to. That's why I just leave it next to my sockets. Then I have all my other ratchets and breaker bars. This is a little Matco swivel head. This one's pretty nice. 100 tooth ratchet. Here's the part number. This thing's pretty cool. I have a longer 3/8 flex head Matco ratchet. So obviously, like I said, Matco's my favorite. Real fine teeth. 88 tooth. A cheap little 1/4-inch torque wrench. I don't even remember. It's probably Harbor Freight. Anyway, I have a Pittsburgh Pro little 1/4 drive ratchet. Some spark plug sockets, all Silver Eagle. Get that over here. Little Silver Eagle ratchet that came with some sockets that I bought in the set. It's like a 60 tooth. I don't know. I never use it. And then got some big breaker bars. This one's a Craftsman. Probably this is like a made in China one. Anyway, then this one's like a O'Reilly's brand. I don't know. I don't buy expensive breaker bars because most of the time the stuff I work on, I don't really need a breaker bar. And then it's my favorite extension. It's a Snap-on Wobble Plus. Yeah, this is an awesome extension. The rest of my extensions are all Silver Eagle. That Silver Eagle, all that stuff came in a set. And I've got these Matco ADV hex and Torx sockets. This is a pretty nice set. The only thing I wish it came with that it didn't is long, skinny Torx, because sometimes there's areas where you need a skinnier, longer Torx to get into awkward places. Then I've got, for 1/2-inch drive, I just have Pittsburgh Harbor Freight sockets, because doing body work and stuff, the only time you really need these is to take like bumpers or something off, and I don't need really nice sockets to take bumpers off. Then I've got Silver Eagle 3/8, shallow and deep and standard and metric. So the Silver Eagle sockets are actually pretty nice. I've had them for, I don't know, probably 5-6 years, something like that. And I have had 0 issues with any of them. I'd say, Which one do I probably use the most? Probably 9/16. Let's see here. I mean, I use the crap out of this socket, and I've used it on an impact for a long time, and that's for a chrome socket on an impact, which I know you shouldn't do. That is not bad at all. So for how cheap they were, I'm very happy with them. And then I just got these gear wrench sockets. Don't really know how much I like them yet. I haven't used them yet. These were my old 1/4" sockets. I'm probably going to trade them in. They're Silver Eagle as well. Again, these are good sockets, but the kit that I bought didn't come with deep sockets, so that's why I got this gear wrench set. I just like to have everything. If it's a set, I like to have it match. And apparently you can't buy just deep sockets from Silver Eagle unless you buy like a whole kit of a bunch of stuff. So the only way to do it would be to buy each socket individually, and it would have been way more expensive than just buying a set of shallow and deep gear wrench. Eventually I'll probably do the same thing with the rest of the sockets, but I'm in no hurry. Then that's a set of Makita drill bits, Bauer drill bits. This is a screw extractor set. That thing's awesome. Hopefully you never need it, but when you do need it, you need it. Those are Matco ADV impact extensions and adapters. This is a Matco 3/8 torque wrench. It's 10 to 100 foot-pounds. That's plenty for what I need. Most of the stuff I work on doesn't require torque specs, but it'll do wheels, stuff like that, so that's perfect. The second drawer is all my wrenches. So gear wrench, tubing wrenches, metric and standard, and then, standard, wait a minute here. Yeah, metric and standard, I was right the first time. Then these are metric and standard stubby 72 tooth gear wrench ratcheting wrenches. Those come in handy every once in a while. Then I've got Matco non-reversible metric wrenches. These do me just fine at home. Most of the stuff I work on is standard, but every once in a while I need a metric ratchet wrench, so those are great. Then I've got these standard reversible wrenches. They go up to 3/4. These are super nice. They're my favorite wrenches. These are Matco as well. Yeah, I have no complaints with these whatsoever. And then I've got some adjustable wrenches. These Matco ones came in a kit with a bunch of pliers, like 4 different adjustable wrenches, and it was a super good deal. Couldn't pass it up. These are miscellaneous cheap wrenches, Silver Eagle. That way if I ever have to cut up a wrench or whatever, I'm not cutting up a Matco name brand or a Snap-on or something like that, so I'm not wasting money on expensive wrenches to do that with. These are my Snap-on combination wrenches. They go from 1/4 up to, I believe it's 1 inch. Don't skip any sizes. They're great. They're nice. They're one of my few Snap-on tools. I actually bought them from my Matco guy. And then non-reversible Matco ratcheting wrenches up to 1 inch. Again, these are great. Usually if something's really tight and it's a larger fastener, I'll crack it loose with a Snap-on wrench, and then I'll switch to a ratchet wrench because I don't want to break a ratchet wrench. Here's my cheaper gear wrench, non-reversible set. I've had these since high school. They work great. So I've had them over 10 years. Never had an issue, but the Matco ones, I think these are finer tooth. I believe these are like, I don't know. They might be about the same. No, these ones are finer. Yeah, the Matco ones are finer tooth. I don't know. These are 72 tooth. I don't know the tooth. This feels like maybe it's like 60 teeth or something. I don't know. Like I said, these are older. But from what I gather, they're probably made by the same company, honestly. Anyway, Those are all the wrenches. This drawer is pretty much empty. This was my spray gun drawer when I had this box at work. I haven't decided what I want to do with this drawer yet. This is like my scrapers and screwdrivers and hook set. So I have these gear wrench scrapers. They work, you know, just fine. But I bought these Matco ones recently. So they have a striking cap, which I'll really like. What I'm going to use these for is busting spot welds. So that way it's got a nice striking cap. Hitting the top of those with a hammer, I can tell they're not going to hold up long term. Hitting those with a hammer, the handles aren't that great. These hooks are okay. I had the same exact set for work, and I was using this pick, and I pulled on it pretty hard, and the shank just pulled right out of the handle. That was kind of a bummer. So for work, I just went ahead and bought some Matco ones. That way, if I have a warranty issue, I can just swap it out on the truck. But these are fine for home, I guess. If I ever have a problem, I'll just mail it in. It's not like I need it right away like it's at work. And then, yeah, I got a snap-on pry tool or clip tool. These are my favorite clip tools. I have the same set for at work in green. And then I have some gear wrench mini screwdrivers. I have this clip tool, gear wrench. Those are a bunch of SATA spray gun wrenches. Not really sure why those are in here. These are like, well, a lady's foot pry bar. And then a couple pry bar chisels. I use these for lining up door hinges. They work excellent. At least this one does. This one's a little big for that. This one's more just a pry bar. I got a Matco screwdriver set. That's actually newer, so I traded in the rest of that gear wrench set for this Matco set. These are spot weld pliers. So you clamp this down, do the spot weld in here. Those are a bunch of Clecos, so those hold sheet metal together. These are the Cleco pliers, Cleco clamps. These are spot weld drill bits. All that stuff from Eastwood. It's good stuff. This drawer is empty. It's kind of a narrow drawer. I haven't decided what to do with this yet. I think I have blocks in one of my smaller drawers. I think I'm gonna move them over to here because I don't have a lot of room in that drawer. It's all my sheet metal tools. So I've got a Blue Point ball peen hammer, a bunch of snap-on body hammers. All the brown handled stuff is snap-on. I guess not a bunch. I have 3 snap-on body hammers, a big slapping spoon, and then obviously the red handle ones are all Matco. Matco makes my favorite body hammers. These are fantastic. So, well, they don't make them. I'm sure whoever makes these body hammers, they do a nice job. Automated center punch. So I really like this thing, not only for its intended purpose, but also when you have a little high spot showing when you're doing body work, you put this center punch on the high spot and it'll knock it down a little bit. So I really like it for that. For really fine work, so you're not hitting everything with a hammer all the time. This is a slide hammer for when you're using a stud gun. These are spot weld separators, so it's like a chisel. After you grind out the spot welds with a belt sander or something, you go through and you knock this thing in between the pinch weld. Got different angles and stuff. And then this is to drive pins out of a door hinge. That's really common in the old crap I work on. Everything's pinned doors. It's a pain in the ass. This is a Matco spoon. All my dollies are Matco. This is a body line tool. This thing's awesome. So you get your filler work close to where you want it, and then you go through it and you draw the body line where it's supposed to be, and then you finish it off. And then if your metal work was good and you do your filler work right, then that thing will give you a perfect body line every time. There's a little ring dolly, that's pretty cool. There's a body file, that's great for the older cars when they have thicker metal. You can get the metal a lot closer by pick and filing it, so that's fun. This is another tool for, for the springs that hold your door open on older cars, and some new-ish cars have them, like 90s trucks and stuff. What you do is you tighten this bolt down and it compresses the spring, and then you pull it out and then you slowly let the pressure off of it so the spring doesn't pop and hit you in the head and send you to the hospital. Yeah, that's everything in that drawer. Oh, actually, this is for my dent puller. So I have a Spitz and Hagel dent fix dent puller and a Killer Tools dent puller. This thing you put on, it's called wiggle wire. You put this stuff on like a body line or whatever, and then you put this claw in between the wire, and then you can pull on it, and it pulls it out nice and even, so you're not just pulling like studs or whatever. And then it's spring loaded, so you can put them closer or further together. So this drawer is kind of a mess. So this is all my power tools. So I've got some 4.5 inch grinders, some a couple buffers. I also use those for grinders. A heat gun. Let's see. Obviously a drill. I don't really use that electric drill much. That's more of like my homeowner's drill. This thing is awesome. So this is a Matco air saw. I love this thing. I don't know how I live without it, do body work without it. So I've used it a few times and it's already saved me so much time. So it's got these little saws. It's just a nice little reciprocating saw, but it's just so smooth. I've never used one this smooth. So I love this thing. I keep it in the case because it was really expensive and I don't want it to get messed up. And then I got a pneumatic hole punch. That's an Astro. Got a big Morgan knocker in there. I've got a Lyle door adjuster tool. A buffer. I got a bunch of these die grinders. I got a couple Astro ones. Let's see here. Ear protection. And I got a Matco air drill, 1/2 inch air drill, reversible. I guess it's Silver Eagle. And then I got this is a little Mac die grinder, little straight one. This thing's badass. This is a Spitz and Hagel spot weld drill. So what you do is you put this little end here over the pinch weld, and it'll drill just the one side of the metal, so you don't risk drilling through to the side that you're not taking off the car. This thing's awesome. So these are bits for my die grinder, extra air fittings. I have a Matco belt sander. Again, this thing's awesome. Rotates, perfect size for autobody. Love it. Yeah, more die grinders. A cutoff tool. This thing's great. I like this a lot better than the standard style cutoff wheel. Every once in a while you have to use this kind, but I'd way rather use the angled one. Another hole punch and flange tool. That thing's great. A little high-speed air grinder is good for knocking down stuff to bare metal real quick. I think that's about it. Air blower, some attachments for my big slide hammer, a smaller slide hammer. Let's see. Little wheelhouse puller. Extended reach cutoff tool. This is just an Amazon purchase. This thing's nice. It's a Suntech. Haven't had any issues with it. It works well. Yeah, no complaints there. And it feels really nice too. It's not like it was cheap and it just feels like garbage. Like if you compared this to a name brand one, I bet you wouldn't be able to tell the difference if it was a blind test. This thing's awesome. And I believe it was less than $100. All right, this is my power drawer. This is mostly Milwaukee. This is all newer stuff. I have all the Matco battery tools at work. It's all M12. I got the polisher. I have a couple chargers in here. Actually, I have a couple more chargers that aren't in here. I have the fuel 3/8 ratchet. I have a 1/2-inch drill. Or is that a 1/2 inch? That might be a 3/8 drill, actually. No, it's a 1/2-inch drill. And then I have a 1/4-inch driver. This thing's awesome. I use this quite a bit. So this is the main impact I use at home. There's very few things that this can't take off that I need it to. So I love that thing. And then I have a stubby 3/8. This is really powerful as well. And the battery lasts a long time. I like this thing a lot. And the light's pretty bright too. I mean, for a drill. These batteries are the way to go. These 4-amp ones. The 2-amp, yeah, they're fine for like the ratchet, I guess. They're nice on the ratchet because it doesn't stick out further than the ratchet head. Sometimes if you're using this battery on the ratchet, it can get in the way of what you're trying to do. So that can be annoying, but yeah. Here I've got tin snips, seam seal gun, a BFH. This is kind of a homeowner deal. I've got some little dead blows. I haven't really used much yet. Tin snips, tape measure, clamps for welding panels and stuff like that. That's basically just clamps and welding gloves in there. I have nothing in the security drawer. Actually, I think I might have anti-seize in here, yeah. This is my plier drawer. I have some more tin snips. These wire strippers are pretty cool. Automatic wire strippers. All the green pliers are all Matco, and then these are just like a $5 set from Harbor Freight. These are channel lock. I don't know what these are. I don't know. These are super old though. I think I got them like at a yard sale or something. Wire strippers. These work just fine. I don't do a whole lot of wiring. Usually if I'm doing wiring, it's like a car stereo or something, so. These are super old too. These are Craftsman made in USA pliers. These are pretty cool for any little detail thing where you need like a thin-headed plier. These work just fine. That's just paperwork crap. Deodorant, so I don't come out of the garage smelling like crap. My girlfriend will get pissed. Tape measure, paint sticker, something from my dent fix, extra parts for my solder. And no, I'm not a heroin addict. This is for when you're doing decals, like a clear decal, you stick this. If you get a little bubble, because you have to use like a water-based alcohol solution, you can stick this in the water bubble, and it'll make a tiny microscopic hole that you won't be able to see, but you can suck the water out of it. So those were for work. They just came home with the box when I brought the box home. So this is not all the sanding blocks I have for home, but it's what I can fit in this drawer. So that's why I'm thinking I'll probably switch these over to that wider drawer. So these are softer blocks for more rounded panels. And then the Durablocks I use more firm. I want to get a set of acrylic blocks because for a really flat panel, that's what you want to use. Then I have all my blow molded crap in here, and I've got these are Astro punches. This is a set of Matco punches. This is a really nice set. So these were on promo, and they were, I mean, it was a killer deal. So 32 piece, and they are nice punches. I mean, I really like them. Kind of cool how they're round. I don't know. I just really like them, so I bought them. There's just a bunch of extra air fittings and crap in here. Let's see. I had to put new lifter or rocker arm studs in my small block, so I didn't put all of them in because a few of them snapped off when I was rebuilding the motor. Let's see. These are panel clip tools, just plastic clip tools. Another tape measure. That's welding rod. That's an airbrush. This is a gear wrench, serpentine belt tool. This is a Matco rivet gun. Every once in a while you need rivets, right? This is a tap and die set. This is a Matco rethreader kit. This is my Matco air hammer set. This thing's badass. These are Matco ADV 3/8 impact sockets, standard and metric. These are great sockets. They're Sunex, but they're rebranded Matco. They work great. This is, I believe, my brake tool kit. Yeah, this is my Matco brake tool kit. So it's got like a caliper spreader and like drum brake tools and stuff like that. So that thing's awesome. And here's one of my Milwaukee fuel cases. I think that about does it. So that's everything in my home toolbox. I've got like welders and other stuff that I use for my auto body repair / restoration that I do as a hobby and a career. So I just paint the cars at work, and then I come home and work on old rusty crap and put new door skins and quarter panels and stuff on. And